Morning, sir.
BIKRANT, please introduce yourself.
So, I have done my metric from Khidrajpur High School. Then I completed my plus 2 and graduation in commerce from Gangadhar Meher, now university. And then I switched to public administration in MA. And then I appeared for NET JRF. I cleared JRF, and now I'm enrolled in PhD in public administration.
In Sambalpur University?
No, in GM University only.
GM University. Let me ask you a couple of questions on administrative thought.
Okay.
Now, tell me, what was Weber's concept of bureaucracy?
Okay, so according to Weber, there are different kind of authority, and according to him, the legal rational authority was more authentic and more reliable one as for him. So he equated bureaucracy with that form of authority, and he provided certain features.
There are other people who believe that that bureaucracy is not a really perfect system. Who was that person?
Various after Weber, when new public administration era started, NPA and NPM, the believers in those, they countered Weber, and Dwight.
Right.
One is one of them, and development administrator also.
Robert Morton.
Robert Morton and Hedy.
What was Morton's concept?
Counter.
Counter. A particular term he used about bureaucracy.
Sorry, sir.
Dysfunction.
Yes, dysfunction.
What are the dysfunctions in a bureaucracy? That's what he said.
Yes.
Because you don't have to have, you don't exercise discretion. He said bureaucrats go by rules and regulations. Wherever there is a need for discretion, so they don't exercise that discretion, and there's a delay also.
He also talked about the issue of triviality. I believe. Okay, the end means reversal. They tend to do.
Yes. So Woodrow Wilson also had a set of thought process. What was Wilson's concepts?
So he actually regarded as the pioneer of this administrative thought,
yes.
And he provided the dichotomy between politics and bureaucracy,
okay.
And which was later countered by that NPA.
What are the different schools of thought, administrative theory?
When we classify on broader level,
okay.
They can be classified as one group of classical, that is F.W. Taylor and Henry Fayol, and
okay.
Wilson is also considered in them.
Okay.
Then there is a breach in M.P. Follett.
Okay.
So then come the behavioralist,
okay.
And
who are the behavioralists?
One is Maslow.
What was Maslow's concept?
So he provided a theory on motivations, etc.
Okay.
Why work is.
He also mentioned about actualization. What was there was a theory of actualization by Maslow.
Actualization of Maslow. So right now I cannot recall.
There are. He talks of different types of needs.
What yes, the hierarchy of need theory. Okay, so there is 5 kinds of needs.
Yes.
There is basic needs, which are that minimum requirement to
yes.
Sustain in any job. But then there are 2 sets of higher needs. It goes beyond social needs and it reaches up to the.
So Maslow said that
self-actualization is the last need. Now yes, at that time.
So when there is a hierarchy of needs, you self-actualize yourself when you get. You realize all those.
He talked about when you don't need social feedback, etc. We work
in Constitution. Yes. Since you are part of this public administration, in Constitution, we often think that that the judiciary presently is into a lot of activism. There is a lot of judicial activism. So, how do you explain this concept? What is judicial activism, and how do you give me an instance also of judicial activism?
Okay, so normally I believe it started from P.N. Bhagwati era, 1990s, the era when the PIL.
What about Krishna? It was Krishna started.
Yes, it was that.
Krishna started. And then only Bhagavati came.
Yes, but it popularized.
He popularized the concept.
So,
yes, I agree with that.
So then the culture of PI.
What was the whole, what was the concept of judicial activism?
When judicially actively looks into social welfare and other issues we are not core judicial areas through.
Is it that or something else?
So
Something else.
suo moto cases.
No, where they feel that the executive and the legislature
Yes.
are not attending to certain serious social issues, so the judges step in and give a judgment.
Yes.
That is what is judicial activism. Otherwise, in the general construct of administration, you have the legislature, you have the executive, then you have the judiciary. So, judiciary doesn't get into the legislative field. Tell me a judgment where they got into legislation. Very interesting case where they suggested guidelines to the government.
So there has been many cases.
Tell me one important case.
Sahbano case can be a suggestion to government.
What are the suggestion? What are the suggestions to government?
That it was property related thing.
No. You be very specific. You are a public administration student. I want you to be very specific because you are a good candidate.
Yes.
That's what I am asking. I am probing you. You are on the right lines when you are talking of Sahavano case about the Supreme Court. You are right that it is one of the cases where judicial activism was very assiduously promoted by the. But what was that judgment?
Exact judgment right now.
It is the whole question of maintenance of Muslim movement.
Yes.
So maintenance.
Yes, exact line I am not sure, but
no, 1 minute. So basically, as per the Muslim law, maintenance was not allowable, was not maintainable for Muslim women. They were only to get a lump sum amount during the iddat period. That is what they were getting. During that period of divorce for about 3 months, they will get some money, which we call as a lump sum amount. But they don't get maintenance. So Y.V. Chandrachud, who was the Chief Justice at that time, the father of the present Chief Justice, he gave the judgment that when it comes to maintenance, one particular section will apply and not Muslim law. What is that? Section 125 of CRPC. Okay. In the CRPC, there is a section 125 which says that minimum maintenance to a divorced woman if she is unmarried. See, if she is married, then she doesn't get it. But if she is unmarried and in an indigent condition, it is incumbent on the husband to pay maintenance. It also, that judgment also said that the government should implement UCC at the earliest.
Yes.
So you have a
Article 44.
Article 44. So then that is a case of judicial action. Just one more, because the Bengal rape issue is there. That's what
So
I'm.
Visakha guidelines and then Post Act was followed up by that. Okay. So it started from judicial activism, then it resulted into.
Visakha Rani guidelines were also a case. So very good. Good answer. What is a fiscal deficit?
Fiscal deficit is the total, the difference between the expenditure and the income side.
Okay.
So
income would be what are the different sources of income for government of India?
So debt related.
No, don't get into that. Don't get into that. You tell me what are the sources of revenue for the government?
So when debt related things are
see, first you
deducted from receipt side. Okay. Okay, sorry, sir.
You are going to the second step. I am asking you what are the sources of revenue for this state.
So one is tax related.
Taxes. What are the different types of taxes?
Corporate tax, income tax, and now it is GST.
Okay.
The earlier
so that is one
is,
tax then?
that corporate tax is there.
No, that is part of
tax. Non-tax income is there.
What is non-tax?
Sometimes when.
No, you define non-tax.
Non-tax income.
You have to be very specific with me. Because you are a bright student and you will be pushed, because the candidate, we know that you are a bright student, so therefore we will push you. Tell me what is a non-tax. What are the different things which will come in a non-tax? You have explained direct taxes clearly.
I can give some examples. So,
No, you tell me what is a non-tax. So give an example.
So, for example, if PSU is the disinvestment investment is done, so that the
That would
amount
be-
from
that would be- that would be
one can be one
then
and
next.
and
He said something, you didn't catch it.
sorry sir.
Dividend from the PSUs.
Yes, regular dividends.
From the PSU and also from the RBI.
Yes, sir. Also,
Please remember that. All dividends. Okay. Then
and if the government has provided loan to that interest from those loans,
no,
like
that doesn't come in non-tax. That doesn't come in.
okay, so I need
That
to read
doesn't-
more
no,
about it.
That doesn't come in tax. All fees, court fees, registration fee, all this will come in the non-tax revenue. Just brush it up because you are a student of public administration. They will get into those nitty-gritty.
Okay,
Are you getting my point?
Yes.
They will get into the nitty-gritty and catch you. On the expenditure side, what are the different trends that we find? Capital expenditure, what is the major trend we find in India these days?
So the trend has been like we are shifting from more there earlier it used to be more revenue based expenditure.
Okay.
Now we are shifting towards more capital expenditure, which is a good thing.
Give an example.
So all this spending on infrastructure and
Wonderful.
building.
Wonderful.
So
what is the increase? You're talking of capital expenditure.
yes.
Say, supposing I want to ask you a very specific thing. Say between 2012 and 2024, what was the share of capital expenditure in the total budget, and what is the share now? If you can tell me, I'll hand over the IAS to you and you can work off.
So
Roughly. I'm not asking for an exact number. Have you understood the question?
yeah, I have understood the question.
What is the share? Because the moment you say that capital expenditure has increased,
Yes.
as a student of economics or even as a student of public administration, I'd like to know the dimensions. Roughly, what will be the increase?
So
How many times?
I'll have to read about it.
It's a very good answer. Tell me.
I forgot the actually start.
No.
But
See, I'm very happy that you didn't make a guess. That's a good sign. It was around 12% in 2012. Now it is around 23%. It has almost doubled.
yes.
So this is the most significant part of India's budget during the last 5-6 years. If I were to see the Indian budget, so this tremendous spending that we are doing in roads, in railways, is testament to that. Sir.
Because you are
Have
a
you understood?
student of
Yes, sir.
business administration, I will ask you a few questions. What is a stock exchange?
Stock exchange where the companies list their share to like IPO after stock exchange in short words can be termed as
We can make it very simple. Stock exchange is a place where the shares and bonds, debentures are sold, purchased and sold.
and sold.
It's, Tapare, what is the PE ratio? PE ratio. Have you heard about it?
PE ratio if you can say me full form that I cannot recall it now.
Price versus earning ratio.
Price.
For a stock,
Yes.
there is a price
Yes.
and the earning is the company's earning. If the price and earning is, ratio it is low, then it's a good stock.
I have heard in newspaper regarding inflated stocks is there. So just I have heard the name, but not totally.
What is the
aware of it.
difference between a stock exchange and a commodity exchange?
Commodity like stock exchange, we get the share exchange, and commodity is that underlying assets when every company.
Suppose a mandi
Yes.
at your place, Sambalpur or Bargad. Is it a commodity exchange?
It's a tangible form of exchange is there. So if it is an underlying assets for some business,
You are weak in this.
okay, sir. I'll
देखियो टाइटन करो.
Yes, sir.
What is
फाइनेंस सेक्टर टा 100% देखियो पड़ेगा.
what is future?
what is future in simple?
Future in stock exchange. That.
Okay, actually the stock exchange market has been growing in India massively. The 5 trillion.
No, that is not a future.
देखो एवढा का ब्लॉक मारे आरो.
You purchase a stock in advance. Suppose Suppose now the price of a stock is 50 rupees. You purchase the stock a month ahead, 2 months ahead, anticipating a particular price. If that price crosses that, you get the benefit. Otherwise, with the stock exchange, you should finance.
I'll have to read about it, so I'm accepting.
Because there are two things. One is a bond, the other is a share.
Yes.
Okay. Now what he's saying that if you are buying a share in advance, and there will be a certain premium that you have to pay, then that is called a future. That is called a future. So we call it as a derivative. Are you getting my point? Have you understood the term derivative? Derivative means, that means we are deriving the price at a later date. Supposing today the petrol barrel price is about $90. Now I am apprehending that in future it is going to shoot up. So I have a contract with say Saudi Arabia saying that year later, hello, Deepak. Namaskar.
Are you getting what sir told?
Yes, I'm getting that we pay extra premium to get that opportunity.
You are putting a price for future.
Yes.
If that price goes up, you get
Yes,
the
sir.
benefit. It does.
A kind of risk is involved in that.
Even that risk can be hedged. There is a concept called hedging.
Yes.
मैंने बुझले कथन तो?
हाँ. Yes.
If as I said, supposing तमें वर्षे परे से Saudi Arabia को कहला जे I am prepared to pay you after 1 year at $100. Okay. So you have hedged yourself against a risk. Okay. Now, supposing 1 year later, the actual price is say 95, then you lose out.
Yes.
But if it is 105, then you gain.
Yes. So it's about prediction.
You are making,
it's a risk.
you are trying to postpone a risk. You think that there is a risk, and therefore you buy something in advance by paying a certain premium. But you can lose, you can also gain. But the whole objective is to fortify yourself against possible risk in future. That's called future.
Sir was telling about commodity future. Similarly, you can do it in stock.
Stocks also.
Yes, I'll have to brush up myself
No, nothing.
regarding.
I mean, just what I'm trying to say that if somebody
Your hobby is
these are
your hobbies
these
are
are
debate, chess, and poetry.
Yes.
Do you know that the Oxford Students Union, they conduct a debate every year, and sometimes Indian personalities are also invited.
Yes.
Have you heard some
Yes.
celebrated personalities?
Yes, some of them, and it's a parliamentary form of debate. So a lot of parliamentarians we have visited.
Once Shashi Tharoor was invited.
Yes. And
what was his main statement there?
so it's about what Britain owes to India. Like he tried to articulate that exploitation done by the Britishers.
He quoted some figures there.
Yes,
Can you say something?
So if I can take a guess, it was in billions, and
He told there that when British came into India, the GDP of India was almost 1/3 of world GDP. When they left, it was 4%. So British looted India.
yes,
Huh?
yes.
But they did it in this way.
And he quoted around something, if I can take a guess, around 5 billion in amount also Britain owes to India due to this exploitation.
Okay, you are good. Can you cite a poem for me?
So yes, I can. But I normally do in.
You write poetry?
Yeah, I write poetry and I create poetic societies to invite other also.
Can you chant? Can you cite?
If you allow in Hindi, can I?
Yes, yes.
So किसी ने कृष्ण से पूछा कि प्रेम क्या है, राधा. So normally I.
Select.
So,
Okay, you are good enough. Huh?
thank you, sir.
Okay. You just enhance your knowledge, sir.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.